Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to The Walk. Today is Wednesday, March 29th, and today we are looking more at the spirit of religion. And as we go into that, I want to really point out to you that, it's not your job to correct somebody else. Yeah, if you see somebody struggling, you see that and you know them well, you know that you can talk to them about it, you should absolutely try. However, you have to remember that the only person's behavior that you can control is your own. You can control how you react. You can control what your responses are going to be. You can control whether or not you're recognizing that spirit of religion in yourself and make those adjustments, pour your heart out to God, get back on track, and move past that. You cannot control what's happening in somebody else. Yes, it's important that we are there for them. It's important that we encourage them. It's important that we come alongside them. And sometimes that may mean that you would point it out. You let the Holy Spirit give you that discernment of whether or not to point that out. So today we're really looking at our personal response, especially when we're around someone that has that spirit of religion, or on the flip side, we're the one that's displaying it and how we should react. So that brings us to Colossians chapter 2, verse 16. And this is what it says. Therefore, let no one pass judgment on you in questions of food and drink, or with regard to festival, or a new moon, or a Sabbath. Now, if you back up and you see what they were talking about before this in Colossians, you're going to see that Paul was addressing all these rules, these regulations. He's saying, don't let someone else try to convict you into being involved in all those rules and regulations. You stick with the grace. It's your behavior, your responses that you are responsible for. Verse 17, these are a shadow of the things to come, but the substance belongs to Christ. Remember, we talked about that vessel on Sunday. We are that vessel. We are that vessel that needs to be filled with the Holy Spirit and filled with that grace and that love. Let no one disqualify you, insisting on asceticism or in worship of angels, going on in detail about visions, puffed up without reason by his subconscious mind, and not holding fast to the head, from whom the whole body, nourished and knit together through its joints and ligaments, grows with a growth that is from God. So what is this saying? Let's break this down. It's saying nobody else has the authority to disqualify you. If you are following Jesus Christ, you are walking in that grace, and you have someone with a spirit of religion that comes into your path and says, you're not qualified, you're not doing it. You are not called, you are not anointed, you've only been a believer for 5 minutes. That's not their business. Don't let that stop you from fulfilling your calling. Don't let that hinder you. Don't let that have that power over you, because you don't want that demonic power over what you're doing. You want the power of the Holy Spirit over what you're doing. And then when we get to verse 9, it says they are not holding fast to the head. Now, head is capitalized there. Who is the head of our church? Jesus Christ. We need to hold fast to that. That is the authority. That's the authority that we lean on, not another person. And then as we move on to verse 20, if with Christ you died to the elemental spirits of this world, why, as if you were still alive in the world, do you submit to regulations? You died to yourself when you entered into that relationship with Jesus Christ. And now you are walking in that freedom, and you have that abundance of grace all over you. Why on earth would you step back into those regulations? Don't let it have that power over you. Do not handle, do not taste, do not touch. These are in quotes, referring to things that all perish as they are used. So that unending supply is there. You're never going to use up that grace. Why would you jump to the things that you're going to run out of? Eventually, you're not going to be able to handle something. Eventually, you're not going to be able to taste or touch something. According to the human precepts and teachings, They have indeed an appearance of wisdom in promoting self-made religion and asceticism and severity to the body, but they are of no value in stopping the indulgence of the flesh. So what does this mean? These rules, these regulations, they may look really cool on the surface. They may look like, oh, this is the way I want to go. I want to be in this. But it is a self-made religion. You are taking God off the throne and putting yourself there and making yourself righteous rather than letting Jesus Christ make you righteous. It is severity to the body. It has no value in stopping you from following your flesh and promoting you to moving to following the Holy Spirit. You're either following the flesh or you're following the Holy Spirit. And if you're following that spirit of religion, you are following the flesh. If you are following the grace, you are following the Holy Spirit. Have a wonderful day. God bless, and keep walking the walk.